All right, we are here for game one against our opponent, Vibes. We've won the die roll, and we would like to play first. This hand has no lands in it, so unfortunately we have to mulligan. This hand has one land in it. Not a high likelihood that we're going to get there. We could mulligan. We do have a couple of Blossom Dryads to try to pull us out of it. I think... Oh, man, that's risky. That's really risky. We have to draw two lands. Yeah, I think we have to mulligan. This is a two-land hand. I have no green mana. I do have a Fire Cannon Blast that I could potentially cast if I do draw a land. And I also have the Horizons Dryad combo. So we're going to keep this. And we're basically going to put anything but a land to the bottom of our library at this point. Opponent also mulligan to 6. So we'll play our Mountain past the turn. Opponent plays a Swamp. Passes back to us. We draw our Shining Aerosar. We'll play our Mountain and pass back to him. Opponent plays a Desperate Castaways. We draw a Lightning Strike, which we can cast, but I don't see a reason to right now. So we'll pass back to our opponent. Opponent plays a Plains, and they have a Territorial Hammer Skull. We draw another Mountain. So we will not cast anything right now. We'll pass the turn. Unfortunately, getting a little stuck on mana for two hands and then not getting the right colors of mana in the third in the second mulligan is definitely hurting us. Now, we could Lightning Strike this guy, and that would buy us some time, but we don't know what our opponent's going to get, and I don't know if this guy is really the worst right now. If we do eventually get a creature down, this guy is going to tap it down. I think we're just going to go ahead and take the 2 damage, go to 18, save our Lightning Strike. Opponent has a play. Bishop Soldier is really good. Man. We really need to draw some lands. I don't think we want our opponent to start gaining life, because it's going to be really hard for us to come back from him gaining a bunch of life. So we're going to go ahead and Fire Cannon Blast on our turn and get rid of him. Theoretically, we could save this to kill something that's bigger, but we would have to have something we can attack with in order to do that. So we'll let our opponent go. Opponent has a spell. Dire Fleet Interloper. Gets to explore. Does he get a counter or does he get a land? Gets the counter, and he's got a Blood Crazed Paladin coming my way. Opponent's going to get to come in for another 2. Will we get a Prying Blade? If we ever get to attack with something, that'll be good. So we'll pass the turn back to our opponent. And it's getting in for 2 again. Oh, sorry, getting in for 5 this time. Now I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to Lightning Strike this guy. And he's got a combat trick, so we're going to take more damage, and we're going to lose our Lightning Strike. And we will go to our turn. Still not going to draw a land. I think that we're pretty mostly dead. We're going to pass back to our opponent. Opponent gets in for 5. And back to our turn. I think we're just dead, but we're going to at least see what we draw. Opponent gets a Sunrise Seeker. And we did not draw a land, so we will concede and move on to game 2. Let's see. Of the things that we saw out of our opponent's deck... let's see. Don't think the 1/1 first strikes are going to be good. He didn't have a lot of 1 toughness guys. Don't think the Riles are going to be good. Didn't have a lot of removal spells. In fact, I didn't see any removal spells. Of course, I didn't play any creatures. So we're going to... Let's see. Yeah, we're just going to run it back. Hopefully we get a better hand to start with. We would like to play first. This is okay. This is definitely okay. This has got 1 of each of the colors, and it's got a couple of 1-drops and some other stuff. So this is definitely keepable. I think first turn we're going to play the Priest of the Waking Sun, and we're going to just start gaining some life off of it. Opponent mulligan to 6. Keeps it 6, though. Going to play our Plains and our Priest, and pass the turn. Opponent has a Skittering Heartstopper. We're going to reveal our Spike-tailed Michael Ceratops. We also have a Kinjali's Collar. That's cool. We'll play our Mountain and our Kinjali's Collar and our Prying Blade. So this is kind of what the way we drew it up. So hopefully we get somewhere with this hand. Not going to attack. Opponent has a Plains and is casting a Fathom Fleet Captain. That's a good card. That's a really good card. That's going to be hard for us to fight. It can generate a lot of creatures. Opponent doesn't attack, and we will reveal our Dino. Draw another land. We're going to go ahead and... If we knew Horizons now, we have to put the +1/+1 counter on one of these guys. I don't see a reason not to, other than to maybe save the +1/+1 counter for, say, this Ceratops. We could also equip the Prying Blade and try to attack. Alright, so we're going to play the New Horizons. We want to enchant... yeah, we'll enchant the Mountain. And we get to put a +1/+1 counter on something. We could put it on the Priest of the Waking Sun. That'll make it a 2/2. Or we could put it on this Kinjali's Collar. That'll at least make it a 1/3, which means it can profitably block this Fathom Fleet Captain. And we'll pass the turn. It has a Pirate's Cutlass. Fathom Fleet Captain is now a 4/2, which means we won't be blocking him. It does have Menace anyway, though. He is going to attack. We could block with both. That would kill him. He would get his choice of either the Priest or the Kinjali's Collar. I think we unfortunately just take the 4. Still at 20, though, from the life that we've gained. We will reveal our Ceratops again. Now we have a lot of mana. We can add 2 green, and 1 of you, and 1 of you, and play the Ceratops. Fortunately, we don't have the mana to equip right yet. Yep, we'll just pass the turn. Now, he could leave his Skittering Heartstopper back with Death Touch to prevent me from attacking with my Spike-tailed Ceratops. Opponent's going to get in. I think we're just going to take the damage here. 5 to sacrifice him. Opponent has a Bishop Soldier. We don't have a Dino to reveal. And we drew a land. So we could get our 6/6 Trampling Dino now. He did leave back his Skittering Heartstopper. Yeah, I think we're going to cash this guy in now, because at this point, if we draw a Dino, we're just going to play it. And we can do that at the end of his turn. So we will, we'll pass. Yep, fortunately, we have to pass. That Heartstopper is keeping our Dinos at bay. Opponent is equipping his Pirate's Cutlass to his Bishop Soldier, and he's going to attack. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to block with the Priest, and then we'll sacrifice it. And let's see, what Dino do we get? We could get the Shining Aerosaur and start attacking in the air, since he doesn't have the ability to block that. We could get the Colossal Dreadmaw, which is a 6/6, but he does have that dude with Death Touch to hold back. Could also get our Raging Sword Tooth, which would not kill any... Oh, no, it would kill his Priest, or his Fleet Captain, rather. Would not kill the Skittering Heartstopper, though. I think we're going to get our Flyer. Opponent gains no life, since we blocked it. And we drew a Lightning Strike. That's actually pretty good, because now we can shoot down his Heartstopper and attack with our Spike-tailed Ceratops. Let's see. We can play our Plains. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7... Yeah, it should be enough to be able to cast both. So we're going to play our Shining Aerosaur. Opponent is thinking on what he's going to do to respond. Alternatively, we could use the Lightning Strike to shoot down his Bishop Soldier. And if we want to win the race here, that might actually be the correct play. It looks like our opponent may have disconnected. So we may be waiting here a little while. We may, unfortunately, win by default. We don't like to win that way. We certainly want our opponent to get back into this game, but he may run a little short on time, so hopefully our opponent returns. Okay, well, unfortunately our opponent dropped from the game after being away for about 10 minutes, which is unfortunate. We do not like to win games like that. We want to win games by casting spells and beating our opponent. We don't want to win because our opponent had some technical difficulties, so... much sympathy to our opponent vibes. He was giving us a good game. We actually could have lost this one pretty easily. We're still going to show you this one though, because at least we had one game out of it that was pretty viable. But we're going to see you in round 2.